I was just wondering if you had poster 7 posted anywhere. I don't see it anywhere out here in the lobby.
I am not sure. Poster 7 is...
The rules and regulations regarding conducting conduct on postal property. It's usually posted with the firearm one, but I don't see the poster 7 one.
I would have to ask the postmaster about that.
Is he?
Now, most people are afraid to spend a dime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in a penny of prevention is worth more than $1 billion of cure.
Wow.
In the churches, right, this is how it works. This is a Ku Klux Mafia town.
Really?
Before, I would say before the 50s, before the highways and everything else, people worked here, they lived here. And if you said anything bad about the Ku Klux Mafia, you was fired.
What's going on, everybody? WNY Audit's back again with another audit. Today we are at the Dansville, United States Post Office in Dansville, New York. We are here, as always, to exercise our First Amendment rights to film and take pictures in public, in publicly accessible areas, and see if they uphold our rights or if they try to violate them. Let's see how they do.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, ma'am. Thanks, I'm just gonna look out here at the boards. Thank you, though. Alright. Got a little bit of an unorganized public information board here. We'll come in, get our voter registration form, as always. We'll get a couple stamps. Loitering and soliciting in this building is prohibited. Got the key locks. Being a small town, they have a lot of boxes. Got some bigger ones down at the bottom. Marble walls. All the priority mail. You guys can go ahead if you want. You sure? Yeah, I'm just getting a couple stamps. I'm in no hurry. Got some damage up there. That doesn't look safe.
And there you go. Have a good day.
Thank you. Is there a charge number on this, or?
Right.
Oh, perfect. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Two stamps. You got it. $1.32.
You got a TV right there with you, huh?
Yes, sir. What are you out doing?
Campaigning,
Campaigning?
yeah.
May I ask for what?
Since 1986, I've been protesting.
What are you protesting, if you don't mind me asking?
We got 2 illegal flood zones,
Okay.
all set up with lies.
Here in Dansville?
Yeah, from the village government.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
So
let
now
me.
they gotta pay up to $5,000 a year for flood insurance they can't use.
Interesting. Well, let me get my stamps. If you're still here, I'll have a conversation with you in a minute. Hello, how are you? I just need 2 stamps, please.
Okay. It's gonna be $1.32.
Ooh, getting some fancy ones today. How you doing today?
$5. Not too bad. How about you?
Good.
There you go.
Can I just get the receipt, please?
Can. There you go. Have a good day.
Thank you. What happened to the ceiling?
Oh, it's been caving in over about the last 2 years. Rain.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was wondering why it was blocked off. Alright. Haven't seen poster 7 yet. So, got a door for the postmaster here, but with the ceiling. Let me. Maybe. Did I miss it out here? I don't see poster 7 at all. I'm sorry. All right, I just have one more question. No. Yeah, I'll talk to you outside. Let me take one final walkthrough, make sure I didn't miss it somewhere. This will be the first post office I've seen that I don't see them have poster 7 posted.
So it's got the 100 insurance. Is that enough?
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Anything else? Can't screen here, it's good for.
No. Thank you, Maya. You have a good day.
You too, thank you.
Sorry to bother you again. I was just wondering if you had poster 7 posted anywhere. I don't see it anywhere out here in the lobby.
I am not sure. Poster 7 is.
The rules and regulations regarding conducting conduct on postal property. It's usually posted with the firearm one, but I don't see the poster 7 one.
I would have to ask the postmaster about that.
Is he in today or
He is out delivering.
out delivering mail? Okay.
You said poster 7?
Yes.
Do you want me to have him give you a call?
Yeah, if you could please.
You are?
My name's Thomas.
Phone number? And it's poster 7.
Yes. And could I just get your name so I know who I spoke with?
My name's Jessie.
Jesse, nice to meet you, Jesse, man.
You too.
I was going to introduce myself again, but you already know my name's Thomas.
All right.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
All right, let's go out and see here. So what's your name, sir?
Bill Faulkner.
Bill? My name's Thomas.
Thomas?
Yeah, so,
Kind of interesting, huh?
yeah, I'll just get a picture of your board if you don't mind. Insurance companies or the village of Dansville should be made to pay back all the millions of dollars they have embezzled in these 2 illegal flood zones from the taxpayers. So where are these flood zones set up at?
You see, back in 1900, the railroad cut the hill.
Right.
So they have to be responsible for all the stormwater from above the railroad. So when they cut the hill, they had to take and bring all that water to a certain spot, bring it under the railroad with culverts, so that it doesn't wash the tracks out.
Right.
But they put the engineers figured 3 2-foot culverts would take care of the deal.
Okay.
But it didn't. Water kept on coming over the tracks, threatening to wash them out. So they put a 5-foot culvert underneath to take and help the 3 2-foot culverts. And that did the trick.
Okay.
Now, anytime a company that's responsible does something, right, it's on record.
Right.
Okay?
Public record.
Okay? So it comes down to the Liberty Street ditch. And when it gets to Sword Street, it was only an 18-inch culvert.
Oh, wow.
Do you think that's why we have flooding?
Well, I mean, if you have all that water coming down and it needs a 5-foot culvert up top, you would think it needs...
It's 11 feet altogether, culverts. 2 3-foot culverts and 1 5-foot culvert.
Okay.
That's 11 feet of culverts. It gets down to Sword Street, it's only 1.5-foot culvert.
Wow.
Now, 2014, they tore out the 18-inch and they put a 2-foot culvert in. In 2011 and say 2012, I offered my services because they needed an administrator or a highway superintendent.
Right.
Right. I offered my services, and my money that I would receive, I'd put a new bridge in on Sword Street. That would take and cover all the water that's coming down to that spot. Well, they didn't understand what I said, of course, and they didn't deliberate on it. They didn't talk to me about it. So they did the bridge for the big ditch that was put in 1950
Okay.
by the village because Kelly's and Culberson's nurseries wanted the water, excess water from our reservoir down the valley so they could irrigate their trees. So they made millions, hundreds of millions of dollars off that water coming down from our reservoir.
Wow.
Right? And the taxpayers, they stole $29,000 from it. That's back in the 40s, 1948.
Yeah, definitely would be millions of dollars in today's currency and with all the inflation and everything that's gone on.
So when they put the ditch in, they used scrap boilerplate, which probably was 2 cents a ton back then, and scrap rails. So they got the steel for nothing.
Right.
They had $29,000, right? Of course, I upped it a little bit from 28.7, 6 or 7
Right.
to 29, right? But the thing is, here we have a situation where nobody in this village cares that we got 235 people that have to pay flood insurance. Nobody. Now, that was in 1986 when we caught them in their lives.
Right. And you've been protesting since 1986.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the churches, right? This is how it works. This is a Ku Klux Mafia town.
Really?
Before, I would say before the 50s, before the highways and everything else, people worked here, they lived here. And if you said anything bad about the Ku Klux Mafia, you was fired. And nobody would hire you.
That's insane.
Right? So now the commissioner of water back in 1945 was dead set against taking the reservoir water and bringing it down the valley. Little did he know that he was going to die for it. Now, he was my grandfather. And my Uncle Neil, my grandfather begged Uncle Neil to stay home that night because it was going to be a showdown. Uncle Neil said, no, I'm going to go out with the boys. Everything will be all right, Dad. When he got home that night, his dad was dead.
Wow.
Okay? My other grandfather, who was a laborer at the reservoir, died. He had an accident at the reservoir where he fell into the reservoir and he drowned. Oh, but they said it was pneumonia.
That's crazy.
So there's two grandfathers that died on the same issue. Now my father and the other people, right, really rallied together against this, all this killing and everything. And my father lost his job. If it wasn't for St. Mary's over here hiring him for a janitor, he would have had to move up.
It's such a shame too, because it's a beautiful town. I mean, if you look at the architecture and everything, it's beautiful. Like, it's a shame that the ceiling and everything's caving down in the post office. But like, I appreciate what you're doing. Obviously, you're exercising your First Amendment rights. I'm doing the same thing. I try to hold the government accountable on a different aspect than you. I do what's called First Amendment audits. I go into public and public places, video record, take pictures. And some people have a problem with it. Some people don't. I understand with technology. You came in and said you got a whole TV there. And like, technology changes. But if you've been protesting for 37 years. I know that because you've been protesting a year longer than I've been alive. So it's just...
Now, I bought that building, that single-story building down there.
Okay.
And I put my wife's bakery in there. And so anyhow, that didn't work out for her. And then John and Wendy Weimer came in, and they had their bakery until 2005,
Okay.
2006. And then the mafia came in and stole my bakers.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's still an issue today from what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I've been attacked a lot of times. Yeah. Matter of fact, I saved that building now. It's my Dansville Watchdogs Museum.
Really?
Window museum. So I have all my articles in the window.
Okay. Well, I was heading to the library next, but if you don't mind, I'll go and...
Well, walk with me.
I'll take a walk with you. So you said you've been attacked for protesting all the stuff, all the corruption that they're doing with the water and...
The only way to hurt me is to take and destroy my name. So if they can get me breaking a law, right?
Right.
They've got it.
See, and that's what I do. I'm very careful. I look up the laws. I make sure that I'm not violating any laws or anything like that.
Well, see, you're smart. I'm not that smart.
Well, I've had a lot of help, to be honest with you.
Well, I have too.
I watch First Amendment audits, YouTube a lot, so I've had a lot of help along the way. Like, a lot of this stuff I didn't even know. It just amazes me how much of the United States Constitution and the rights that we all have afforded by the Constitution that people don't really understand.
They don't care.
They either don't care or they're too afraid to stand up, because every time I come out here with a camera, I take the chance of someone saying, I want them trespassed, I want them arrested.
Yeah.
And even though it's my constitutional right, not everywhere, they try to use loopholes and everything to try to get around it. So
A lot of times they can if they got the judges on their side.
oh yeah, definitely. And it's just, it amazes me how many people are afraid of a little camera.
Okay. Now, most people are afraid to spend a dime. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in a penny of prevention is worth more than $1 billion of cure.
I can stand behind that. That makes a lot of sense.
So, I spent in my endeavors over $200,000 on proving my point.
Wow.
Now, how come when I took the village of Dansville to federal court, right, the village was allowed to lie, but I with my evidence, pictures, documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? They changed my evidence.
Really?
So I couldn't have my day in court. So I took it back here to Dansville. My lawyer apologized. So I brought it back to Dansville and I ran it right down their throats. I got my trophy last September.
Okay.
I got from the lawyer in town threatened me that if I didn't take this one and this one over here, out of my windows, there could be consequences.
It's freedom of speech.
This is Dansville.
That's,
This is New York State.
that,
The judges are on their side.
yeah,
Right?
definitely. That's crazy.
So, the reason why they didn't want this one in the window is because in 1990s the Republicans stole $1.2 million from the taxpayers,
Wow.
right? And they brought it to the village of Dansville to help their friends improve their properties. That's why they didn't want these in the window.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around the fact that your lawyers are the biggest crooks that we have.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen, luckily, personally, I've never been arrested or I've had some questionable encounters, but I've never been thrown out of some place. No one's ever gone hands on. They haven't put me in handcuffs yet.
I was thrown out of the village board after I was given the privilege of the floor. What the mayor didn't know is it was a reporter that night, and she put it in the news.
Good. And this is why I like independent journalism, or street journalism as they call it, because those big companies,
Oh yeah.
or even the newspapers, politics are involved. And if something goes against their views, no, we're not publishing that. No one can tell me what I can and cannot publish. And I mean, I'm gonna put this video up on YouTube. Obviously I was doing a First Amendment audit of the post office, but now people are gonna hear your story.
Wow.
And people are going from different states are going to hear your story of the corruption and everything that you've witnessed here in Dansville.
Well, the church is our biggest problem.
I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I agree to an extent.
Okay.
Definitely.
And what it is the hypocrites in the church that belong to the Ku Klux Mafia. They take and do everything to discredit the person that brings up any information that might hurt the village.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if you look at it, that's how all politics are. If you say something against politics or a rule or a policy that you disagree with, you're a horrible person. Why can't you just bend down and follow it? Just obey the rules.
So every time in church, every time they come to a certain spot, they change it. Now, do you see that there? The pledge allegiance to God?
Mm-hmm.
How come the church don't teach that to the children when they're 9, 10, 11 years old?
Well, why aren't the schools anymore teaching cursive? You don't know your rights if you can't read it.
So,
you have a perfect example right there in your window. That beautiful copy of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh yeah.
They're not teaching cursive in school anymore.
Yeah.
So a kid nowadays looks at that and it's just scribble. They don't know what it says. They don't know what it stands for.
Yeah.
Same thing with the United States Constitution.
What do you think about Carol Marie? Wake up, women.
Right? I mean, there's been a lot of people that, such as yourself,
Yeah.
stand up and fight the tyranny, fight the government, fight the man, if you will. And without those people, where would we be?
Yeah.
If Rosa Parks never refused to move from that bench on the bus, where would we be? If women didn't fight for the right to vote, where would we be?
That's right.
You know, and now it's just, it's incredible. It just amazes me because I get comments all the time. Oh, you're just out there bothering people.
See that one there about the lead? Can you get it all?
I don't care what your town said. There ain't no lead up there. No, Mayor, I think your town is saying get the lead pipes out of our drinking water. You a-hole. Very nice. Is that your drawing?
Yeah, I copied it.
Oh, you copied it? Okay. Vagrant supremacists.
That's your biggest problem right there. The vagrants.
Right.
They don't have to do nothing, right? This is the article. See, this is the article. Oh, where is it? Oh, I don't have it here. But this is the 1948 law that they made that they were going to take and do the ditch.
Okay.
They're going to widen it, dredge it, and improve it. And when 1972 come around, they lied to the people and said, well, we're not responsible for that ditch. You put it in there, right?
Right.
So they made everybody pay flood insurance because of the lies of village government.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you had to put an estimate on the total amount that they've gotten from flood insurance that doesn't cover anything, because my understanding of flood insurance is you're in a flood zone, you know you're in a flood zone.
You use it.
Right.
But
So
we can't use it because it doesn't come above the first floor.
really?
So if you go up here to Park Ave,
Okay.
a little more, I would say a little more than a half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile to Maury Ave, right? It's an 80-foot drop.
Okay.
80-foot drop. When the water comes by my house, I put a bobber in and I check it for 100 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I multiply that through the seconds and everything else, and 10 seconds to do that, and I can get 7 miles an hour that water's traveling.
Wow.
So the only way that could come out of the banks of that ditch is if somebody dams it up. And they do it on purpose. That's the problem we have. The corruption is murderous because now these young families, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go through divorce because they don't know who to go after because of one thing or the other, so they argue between each other, right? They end up going through a divorce, they lose the house because they can't pay the taxes and all this other stuff. And then the big guys come in and they buy these houses and then they rent them out cheap,
Right.
right? So now, where's the American dream here? We don't have an American dream in the village of Dansville. It's all Ku Klux Mafia through and through.
Wow.
That one article you see here, this one right here,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that saved me, see where it says the judge said he put a hold on the thing for 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
My lawyer said, will you put that in writing? And he said, you can trust me. The lying bastard, right? So my locksmith, right, said absolutely not. This is the building right here. He says, I will not take and open that door up until the sheriff puts a sign on there that they've been evicted.
Wow.
So we got the sign, we put it on, right, and everything else. And here's the sign right there from the sheriff's department. You see where it's checked, the box? It gives the tenant a time to get his equipment out.
Right, or they're going to change the locks on you.
Right? No, this is after I locked them out.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because this sign had to be in the window before my locksmith would open up the door.
Okay.
Okay? So here, this guy, right, this judge is a veteran from the services. He was a police officer, and now he's a judge, And he literally broke a law to make me burglarize my own building.
Wow.
And that's what it all boiled out to. If I would have been innocent, right? But my locksmith is a Christian, and he wouldn't do it. So they went to the sheriff's department, and they brought charges on him. I mean, not that month, not in November. They did it in February the following year.
Wow.
Right? So how would you like to be at home, you know, and all of a sudden get a phone call from the state troopers saying they're going to come and put you in chains and put you in jail?
That's crazy.
That's how they use it. Martin Luther King, right here, Martin Luther King Jr. was a victim of how the sheriffs and the state troopers were used to take and hurt people. A lie is a powerful tool.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who lies should be stripped of everything they own, including their lawyer's opportunity to practice law, a judge's opportunity to take and practice law.
Yeah, because you got to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So we catch all these people on all these lies, and what happens? Nothing.
No,
Why?
there's no accountability.
Because the women in this town refuse to stand up. We know that women hold the power of the purse. We also know that women control the power of the conversation's narrative at the kitchen's table. They say we don't talk about religion and politics. And the reason why they don't want to talk about religion and politics is because they are the problem. I've met a lot of Christian women, and they don't tolerate insubordination.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do in a village like Dansville that the churches are loaded with these women that destroy the honor of even ministers to drive them out of town because they're witnesses to some of the different things that happen? We had 2 ministers in the St. Paul's Lutheran Church whose reputation was destroyed, and they were driven out of town.
That's crazy.
It's worse than crazy. It's
Deplorable.
yeah. So what are we going to do with a town that has this? We're going to stand up. We're going to write these letters, right? We're going to take and put stuff like this in windows. This is exactly what the devil wants to do. And in the last 3 years, that's exactly what the devil has done. Drove the price of everything up so high that people have to work 2 or 3 jobs. They ain't got time enough to take and spend with the God in church or with family. They're destroying our family nucleus out of hatred.
Wow. Do you have any literature, like printed up, that I could take with me, or?
Yeah, I do, but they're all home.
They're all home? Okay, not a problem.
Give me your address, I'll mail them to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Why don't you just take and
Bill was just explaining to us that he felt, or he was victim of another episode of tyranny and discrimination because he's standing up for what he believes in, and they sold his business files to the town, so the town erased them. He said there's nothing available anymore. Much for talking with me, Bill. I appreciate it. I look forward to reading the stuff that you're going to send to me.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. Do you have access to the internet or not?
No, I'm computer illiterate.
Computer illiterate. Okay. Well, when you mail me that package, if you even if it's just by mail, I'll get back a hold of you and maybe we'll set up a time to where I can come back out here and we'll sit down, talk more about it, get more in depth, go over the paperwork, and we'll run a full story just on you and the experiences.
The whole secret of everything is a picture is worth a million words.
Oh yeah, and that's why I record, because people can sit there and say, oh, he's coming in, he's being disruptive.
Yeah.
There's two sides to every story, but if you have a camera that's recording, the camera doesn't lie. It shows exactly what's done. It's exactly what's said.
That's why I couldn't get one woman in this town to go with me to the railroad bed to see the 3 2-foot and the 1 5-foot.
Wow.
Nobody cares. But yet they go to church. Oh, we're Christians. Oh, we believe.
Well, a lot of it is, you know,
The church
if it doesn't affect you, you turn the other cheek.
it does affect them.
They just don't see it, how it affects them now.
See, as long as the people are 5 million miles away on the other side of the world and they don't have to take and see what's going on, just throw the money at it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're such good Christians. But here in this town, right, they don't do nothing to protect godly people. Matter of fact, they help the Ku Klux Mafia destroy them.
Wow. All right, I won't take up any more to your time, Bill. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with me. And when I do plan on coming back, I'll meet up with you, talk with you, and I'll let you know how many people see the story, what their thoughts are. I'll pull it right up on my phone and show you. I'm excited because, you know, I just came. I checked out Town Hall. I checked out the post office.
Mm-hmm.
I never expected to get this kind of a less history lesson today, but I appreciate you for it. I hope you have a great day and stay safe, okay?
Is on that door there, it's their documents, not mine.
Right, that's city documents, and you're putting it out for the world to see, so I appreciate you and what you do.
My big job is to protect people that they don't move into the village of Dansville without knowing that they're going to be in trouble.
Right, knowing the history behind it first. All right, Bill, have a great day. Thank you. All right, guys, that was kind of crazy. Had no problems with the post office. Went in, filmed around. Beautiful post office. It's a shame that their ceiling's coming down and they haven't really been taking care of it, but I was not expecting to get that kind of a history lesson here today. Obviously, Bill has some very strong words, very strong feelings, and he's got proof that the village of Dansville is corrupt, has been corrupt, and they're still stealing the taxpayers' money. So I need you guys to let me know what you guys thought of this audit down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Bill's story. He's going to be sending me a package that's got all the information on it, so I'm looking forward to that. I know this is the first one where I've actually really shown my face. I mean, I'm not trying to hide anything. You guys know that, but I appreciate you guys checking out this. Let me know what you think of Bill's story down below. And there are rights. We got to use them so we don't lose them. You never know what you're going to see out when you're holding the camera, holding people accountable. Huge shout out to Bill. But this is going to be WNY Audits signing off. Take care of yourselves and each other. There are rights. We got to use them so we don't lose them. Take care, everybody.